Hi everybody, welcome to Module 1. Hopefully you had the opportunity to listen to the overview of the course up here in the Getting Started module right here. If you haven't had a chance to do that, go ahead and listen to that because that's going to give you just the overall overview of the structure of this class. The purpose of this video is to just go over Module 1 and what those assignments look like. So as we dive in, as I mentioned in the overview video, at the start of each module, you will want to click on this overview tab. It's similar to my video. It's going to give you kind of an introduction to what we're doing this week, what you will be learning, and the objectives for the week, along with the various resources as well as assignments. So always get into the habit at the start of each module to look at that overview tab. You're in the right place because I always will have, excuse me, a overview video of the module. So once you get in here, you're going to notice our readings. As mentioned before, the crux of our readings, the crux of our tools for this course are going to be in the module readings. So this week we have This week in Module 1, we have 2 readings, and that is the Introduction to Children's Literature as well as Selecting Children's Literature. Each of the module readings will be directly connected to an to a module reading organizer. So you can see introduction reading is going to be directly connected to the introduction reading organizer. As mentioned in my overview video, sometimes our module will provide additional resources, and you can see here we have a couple of extra resources for the week: defining children's literature and a book format and genre PDF. It's just a supplemental. Always use the actual module readings as your reading organizer resources. So as I jump down in here to our first assignment for the week, it's our Module 1 Introduction Reading Organizer. The way you complete the reading organizers is you will make a copy of your module reading organizer. It will take you to this document. It clicks make a copy for you like that, and bam, you have your copy already made. So there's no copy pasting, it's already done for you. You will write your name and your date and then use the module readings to complete the organizer. Now as you move through the course, you're going to notice something very similar, and that is these reading organizers are the same questions every single week. So for every reading, you will, in number 1, describe a concept or idea from the reading that reinforced or expanded on something you already knew prior to engaging to the text. You can use these sentence starters if you'd like, but you don't have to. So before reading the text, I knew blank about children's literature. However, the text reinforced or expanded my knowledge on, or expanded my knowledge by, and then tell me here. This will be the same question for every reading organizer throughout the modules. Number 2, what do you think was the most important concept, idea, or idea that was shared in the text? This idea or concept must be different from the one that you wrote above. You can use this sentence starter. Of all the ideas included in the text, I think the most important was because. You don't have to use a sentence starter if you don't want to, but sometimes I find them helpful. And then finally, number 3, in our readings, you will find that there are multiple try it's, read it's, and watch it extensions, and I will show you where to find those in our readings. They are included within the text. You will identify one try it or read it or watch it extension, and then explore the suggested learning from the extension and describe your experience and learning from the chosen extension. So let's just jump back here just so we can know exactly what I am referring to, and you will find this once you start to do your readings. But in your reading, let's just pick introduction. As you're going along through the text, well, you will notice them because they're easy to find out. So here is try it right here. So it's big, highlighted in green. Examine the most loved children's book infographic from the USC Rosé School of Education. How many of your favorites are on the list? What book do you think is missing? Okay, that's one of them. If you don't like that one, you can just keep looking for one that really speaks to you. Another one. Try It, The Big No-No by Jeffrey Hayes online. Why do you think this book might appeal to beginning readers? This is the big no-no. So you'll want to do a little search for this book and then explain why it would be appealing. If you don't like that one, you can do what do you see as the value of reading? Did you read for pleasure as a child? What about as an adult? Have your reading habits evolved over a lifetime? What interferes with your life as a reader? This actually is directly very similar to our literacy autobiography, so you might want to do this one. So as you decide what you want to do, just realize that there's multiple try its, read its, watch its throughout the text. There will never be a text that doesn't have one of these. So just always be on the lookout. If you were to say, sorry, Georgia, this week didn't have one, I will know that you didn't look quite hard enough, because all of the text includes at least one try it, read it, or watch it. Okay, so once you have completed your reading organizer for the introduction, children's literature, you will then submit it to the Dropbox. Let's see, our next assignment for the week is not due until Sunday. So I forgot to mention that our reading organizers are always due on Tuesdays. So just keep in mind, every Tuesday of every week through this course, you will have a reading organizer due. This week we don't have a reading commentary due, which are typically due on Thursdays, but we do have a course-related assignment, which is called the Literacy Autobiography. Now, there is a resource up here in our readings called the Miller article. You can access it here under Module Resources, or you can access this reading directly from the assignment. So you must complete this reading, this chapter article, in order to complete this assignment. Then you will complete the autobiography. Once again, it's created here for you. You're just going to click Make a Copy, and it is ready to go, and you can type directly in here. So after you've read the article, you are going to type in here, based on the types of readers that are identified in the Miller article, what type of reader are you, and give examples to support your response. There's multiple readers listed in this article, so there's bound to be at least one that you identify with. If you identify with more than one, then that's absolutely okay too. Number 2, how has your identity as a reader changed over time? Use details or examples to support your response. If you don't think your identity has changed, why do you think that is, or why do you think it has stayed the same? So either way, you should have plenty to write here. And number 3, are you comfortable with who you are as a reader? Why or why not? And there's no wrong answers to any of these. It's just an opinion and a discussion. So if you are comfortable with yourself as a reader, tell me why. And if you're not, don't be afraid. Just explain why. There are all types of readers in this class, and everybody is a reader in some fashion, and I hope that this course will develop that even further. So that was part A. Part B allows you to explore your literacy development and illustrate it. So you are going to choose 3 options from below out of the 4, and then report on each one. So your choices are think back and then describe a reading memory that you have. This can be a memory as a child that you had. Maybe you enjoyed being read to as a child. This can be something that happened in school that was a wonderful memory, something that happened in your adult life, any kind of memory that you have. You will want to list your choice and then tell me in your response. So if you were to choose the reading memory, you can stick that here in option 1. Number 2, you can choose to decide on a storybook character that you can relate to and describe the character and why you relate to him. So say you love Harry Potter and you really identify with Harry Potter, you can put option 2 and then describe what character that you relate to and why. You can choose to make a graph of the highs and lows of your reading experiences from the early years to now. And in that, you would want to include events and their description on your graph. So if you were to choose option 3, you just would do a quick description of what's on your graph, and then you will show us your graph in part C. And then finally, if you want to choose to interview someone who knew you as a young reader, you can choose to interview a parent, maybe an aunt or uncle, maybe a teacher if you're still in contact with them, anybody that knew you as a reader, and see what they have to say about what kind of reader you were, what you liked and disliked. That's always a fun conversation. And then you will write in one of these options kind of just a little summary of the interview. In part C, this is where you're going to illustrate. You're going to actually give me artifacts from each of your chosen options. So you are going to embed pictures or anything that you're choosing to illustrate down here at the bottom of the template. So if you have a reading memory, you want to put a picture of something that represents your memory. You certainly don't have to have a picture of that particular memory, but maybe that memory was reading your favorite book. You could maybe put a picture of your favorite book. Maybe there's a picture of you and your grandpa because he read you the best stories when you visited him. You could give a picture like that. So anything that would just give a symbolic representation of your reading memory. Storybook character, you can find a picture of that selected character or draw a picture of your selected character and include that here. If you did an interview with someone, you can include a picture of you and that person that you interviewed. And that is perfectly fine. If you interview the person over the phone or via some sort of technology, just do a screenshot, or possibly just a picture of the text messages or emails that you exchanged if you didn't see them face to face. Finally, if you chose to complete the graph, this is where you would include the image of the graph that you completed. Okay, as we jump back over, you will find that that was the end of week 1 of module 1. There are typically 2 weeks in each module. And so for week 2 of module 2, you will have on Tuesday your selecting books reading organizer. It's going to follow the same format that was last week for the introduction, but you will use the selecting readings to answer this organizer. This week you will have your first reading commentary. This is a discussion board, and in the reading commentary you have to choose 2 books. And the books need to be books that you obtain, either from the library, from your own personal library, or any way that you could get your hands on a hard copy of a book. If that's not possible, you can use an e-book or a like a Kindle or something like that. That's fine. And then last resort, if you can always go to YouTube and do a search for the book, there are many read alouds of books on YouTube, and I'm fine if you're going to listen to the read aloud and take pictures of those read aloud books. I prefer you to have the book in hand if you can, because it's just a wonderful experience, but any of these will work. You're going to read or listen to your book a couple of times, and next you're going to take a picture of your book. If you use an ebook or a YouTube read aloud, I must see the picture or screenshot of your ebook or of the read aloud YouTube pictures. So if you're on YouTube, pause it and take a screenshot or take a picture of the screen. I want to see what you're actually reading, not necessarily just an image of the book out there that you can find in stock images. In your initial post for the reading commentary, you will include the title and author, the age range that you think the book is appropriate for, And I apologize, I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to stop here and I will pick up right here in part 2.